Hello, hello. Hi, everyone. This is ZN and
Hello, it's Laura from Lotus.
yes, we are here again weekly, and our goal here is to empower women collectively. So we're back with episode 21 for this week, which is talking about self-image and social media. So let's jump right in. So Laura, tell me, how are you known on social media?
Oh my goodness. Well, as you know, Zian, I have a coaching business, and part of getting the word out and talking about myself is being on social media. So I'm on 3 different platforms. I'm on LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook. And it is really hard in social media for people to really get the sense of who you are. But I use some techniques. I do videos. I do quotes that mean something to me and comment on them. I also go into comment section, but what I really try to do is to be myself on social media and not try to portray an image that if someone met me somewhere, they'd say, who is that? I'm really trying to be who I am. So I have a question for you, Zian. How are you known on social media?
Thank you for asking. Likewise, I'm also on Instagram, Facebook, and also LinkedIn. I'm not sure if it's Spotify is the social media, but I guess that's where we're at also for Lotus Chat, and also YouTube with Lotus Chat. Yeah, so I agree with you. I think social media is a place to be authentic with yourself. I seldom share this with anyone, but I have to admit, at the first phase of me being in social media, I was constantly going in and out. Like I'll go in for like a couple of months and then I'll disappear for a couple of months. And it happened a few times, not just once. And it made me wonder, why did I react in such a way? Why can't I am so consistent in many areas of my life, but why can't I be consistent with my presence in social media? So I think one of the part that really strikes me is the part that social media has an unspoken norm that I can only portray the good stuff. I can only show you when I'm happy. I can only show you when I'm beautiful, when I'm made up, when I'm all fine and dandy, good, and everything's fine, and then I can appear on social media. Now that's when I realized I can't be on social media for long if I can only portray that side of me. So I'm still learning to be able to show the whole self without much filter and without thinking a lot of judgments from people, but now I'm able to be there consistently because I am comfortable showing when I am not entirely happy, when I'm without my makeup, when I'm really at the gym and I look horrible or whatever, the gym look, whatever you're supposed to look at the gym, So my question for you, Laura, how is social media different from your real life?
Wonderful question. Okay, so I have to quickly tell you a quick story. As you know, 2 years ago with the advent of COVID, we moved to Zoom. So a lot of my work where I did face-to-face was on Zoom. And when I was face-to-face, I didn't have to look at myself. I would look at the other person, but my hair would go straight and my makeup would go in, and I was like okay with that because I couldn't see it. Now, as I see myself every day on Zoom, 8 to 12 hours a day on meetings, I'm like, I felt like I needed my own makeup and hair artist because I have to look at myself. So it was like I was going to the hairdresser more often. I was buying more makeup because I thought, if I've got to look at myself, at least I need to look right. But that kind of defeats the whole purpose of what you were saying. That's part of the problem with social media is we think we have to put our best foot forward. And I loved how you worded that. That's not who we are always. That's a kind of Hollywood version. But for me, social media is different because I don't feel I feel it's harder for me to communicate in a way that is truly authentic or truthful of who I am. I always want people to see my spirit, to see my way of being, my way of talking. And it's really hard to get that on social media. You can do little things like share quotes that mean something to you. You can do things that share things that are important to you, but it's really hard for people to get your essence. I think the people that are most successful, of which I'm trying to be, is to do mini videos so that people can see me, hear me, and understand what I'm trying to share. So for me, the difference is how I communicate. I'm also I use my hands, I use eye gestures, and it's very hard to do that on social media. But there are more ways to communicate: through words, video, and also commenting on your friends' posts if appropriate. So it's just kind of changing and bending. I'm much more consistent now than I was, but it's still hard because every day you've got to chat. So I know what you mean. You could be on social media all day, and I think there has to be a balance. How about you? How is social media different for you than your real life?
For now, I can say for sure that it is very similar. It's me and my real life. This is what you get. What you see me on social media, this is what I am. And I like that. And that is the only way that I could last long in this presence of social media. But I agree with you that you said that video is the new form of communication, and you can really see a glimpse of someone when they are projected on video. And I think with Lotus Chat, it also gives us an opportunity to connect to women in a more deeper way when it comes to that. But I also want to touch a little bit about self-image and social media, which is our topic for today. And I wonder to women who's listening right now, how much is social media affecting that construction of self in your mind? You know, how do you imagine yourself being viewed on social media? One of the things that's really deep in my heart is that when I see girls or pictures that are portrayed in a very provocative way, and somehow it gets into me because it makes me feel that people are showing themselves that way because they want to gain affirmation, acknowledgement, validation, and all that in the form of likes, following, and views. So to women or to young girls who's listening to this right now, I would really want to encourage you that when you are constructing that sense of self, do it in such a way that you're grounded in who you really are, and not to gain that extra conformity in the world of social media.
I want to add on to that. I think the thing that breaks my heart the most on social media is when people don't allow others to have different opinions. You are not going to agree with 100% of what goes on social media. And yet I see people get really, really hurtful. If someone doesn't agree with their political beliefs, their religious beliefs, that's not what social media is supposed to be for. It's supposed to be a way for you to explain your opinions. And so the concern I have, especially for the women listening, where you tone down your light and who you are because someone else might not understand it, or someone else might not appreciate it or accept it, or you're afraid of what they'll say. I'm not saying to go out there and just light the place on fire with your comments, but I don't want you to feel that you can't speak your truth. Because when people speak their truth, it's powerful. And don't let somebody else's opinion of what you say or your belief system cause you to doubt yourself. That's their opinion. They have a right to it just like you do. And so many times we see people who get upset, who harm themselves because of something someone wrote on Facebook or wherever. And so please don't turn down your light, don't dim your light. Be yourself, your authentic self, but also be strong enough to say they have the right to their own opinion just as I do. I think social media would be stronger if we had the inner self, like you talked about, that inner strength of who we are, to be stable and say, this is who I am, and this is.
Yeah, I love that, Laura. And building on the idea that you talk about how not to dim your light, I also want to encourage women or entrepreneurs out there who is on social media and you are watching for quite a while right now. So we call these passive users. I want to encourage you to be active users, which means that going in and really be bold to show that light of yours. And it does not have to be the same like everyone else. You do not have to pose or speak like everyone else. You can be in your own unique self, because I think I've heard this somewhere that what you read really influences how you think. So the question I have for you is how much how you think is being influenced by what you scroll. So just really get out there, do your thing, and show your real self on social media.
I would really welcome you to go to Instagram and show your real self on mammothedgecoaching. Follow me. Share opinions about my posts and my videos. I'd love it. So what I want to say to you is thank you for being here with us today. And the question I have for you, listener, is how is social media affecting your sense of self? How is it affecting you as believing who you are? And how do you see it as part of your life or as your life? Think about those things. Next week, we will be coming back. I know Zeanne and I will be here. The other ladies have been on vacations for the month of July, as you can imagine, summertime, but we hope that they'll be back with us shortly. So if you're watching this, please remember, if you're watching on YouTube, to turn on your notifications and to, I'm sorry,
click follow and subscribe.
Subscribe, sorry, to YouTube. And we would love to see your comments. Your comments mean a lot to us. And what we do is we take those comments seriously and look for ideas for future sessions. If you're listening to us on Spotify, please click follow. And if you want to talk to us privately, you don't want to put it on social media, we have an email address called lotuschatworldwide@gmail.com. Drop us a line and we would love to hear from you. So I just want to say thank you for being here. And we hope that this was a brief talk that was valuable to you. And we will see you next week. And we will be talking next week about how is your self-image and how is it reflected or affected in society. So it'll be a big topic, so you don't want to miss. See you next week.
See you next week. Bye.